All right, let's jump into a deep dive today into some advice that some might find a little bit tough,
Ooh, interesting.
but we're going to tackle those universal challenges:
Yeah.
heartbreak, failure, and rejection.
Hmm.
And our source today is actually a snippet from a motivational speaker's talk.
Okay.
And I gotta say, he does not hold back.
That's good. I like that.
It's raw, energetic, and aimed, I'd say, squarely at men
Okay.
who are feeling stuck and need a push
Got it.
to level up.
I like it.
So he jumps right into this concept of ghost mode,
Okay.
which he describes as a period of intense self-improvement
Interesting.
where you step back from dating and external validation
Hmm.
to focus just solely on building yourself up.
Okay, so it's like a withdrawal.
Yeah, to work on yourself.
I like it.
So let's unpack this ghost mode idea.
Okay.
He seems to think a lot of men enter this phase after experiencing repeated heartbreak.
So they're tired.
Yeah, they're tired of the emotional roller coaster. They want to regroup.
Yeah, I can see that.
What I thought was fascinating is he kind of links this withdrawal to a need for growth.
Okay.
He suggests that while heartbreak is painful, it can also be a powerful catalyst for change.
So like a
Yeah, like a
reset button.
reset button, yeah.
And it gives you time to
Yeah.
reassess and
Yeah.
figure out what you really want.
So he's acknowledging that heartbreak can be a turning point,
Yeah.
but then he also talks about becoming immune to it.
Immune to heartbreak.
Yeah.
So, like, is that even possible?
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Like, how do you become immune?
I think what he means is more developing that resilience.
Okay.
And it's not about becoming emotionless,
Right.
but rather about learning to bounce back
Okay.
from difficult experiences
Yeah.
without being
Yeah.
completely derailed.
Okay. So building up those
Yeah, building those.
emotional muscles
Yeah.
so you can handle the ups and downs
Exactly.
of relationships without falling apart.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, because that's,
Have you ever felt the need to step back and regroup
oh, yeah,
after a setback?
absolutely.
Okay.
I think most of us have experienced that need to withdraw and process things, whether it's after a relationship ends
Yeah.
or even a career disappointment.
Right.
But I think the key, as he kind of suggests, is using that time productively
Okay.
to reflect,
Yeah.
to learn, and to come back stronger.
So he's definitely got some strong opinions.
Yeah.
He's also got some interesting views on failure.
Hmm.
He's practically a cheerleader for it.
Oh, wow.
What stood out to me was his reasoning.
Okay.
He argues that in our culture of instant gratification,
Mhm.
a lot of people, and he specifically calls out men,
Okay.
haven't learned the value of persistence
Yeah.
and struggle.
Okay.
He sees failure as an essential ingredient for growth,
Okay.
like comparing it to gasoline on a fire.
Wow, that's pretty.
It's intense.
Yeah.
The more you fail,
Yeah.
the stronger your drive becomes.
I see his point, but also, where's the line between healthy striving
Right.
and just like beating your head against a wall?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think it highlights the nuance that's sometimes missing
Yeah.
from his message, because he's right. Failure can be an incredible teacher.
Yeah, definitely.
But we also need to recognize when it's time to pivot.
Yeah, or to change course.
Or change course.
Yeah.
There's a difference between perseverance and stubbornly clinging
Exactly.
to something that's not working.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of challenges, he also dives into the dreaded R word, rejection.
Ugh, rejection.
And he has some pretty strong opinions,
Okay.
particularly when it comes to dating.
Yeah.
This is where it gets a bit controversial.
Okay.
He actually suggests practicing game on random women
Game.
Yeah.
What does he mean by that?
to get comfortable with rejection and develop social skills.
That sounds a bit
Yeah.
manipulative.
Doesn't. Yeah. What is he talking about? Game.
So it sounds like he's advocating for like a more proactive approach
Okay.
where men just kind of put themselves out there,
Okay.
even if it means facing potential rejection.
Okay.
His idea is that by repeatedly exposing yourself to those situations,
Yeah.
you build confidence
Okay.
and eventually overcome the fear.
So desensitizing yourself
That's sensitizing, yeah.
to rejection.
Yeah.
But doesn't that approach risk coming across as inauthentic or even disrespectful?
Yeah, I think that's the tricky part.
Yeah.
While the intention might be to build confidence,
Yeah.
I think the execution can be problematic.
Right.
I think it's important to consider the ethical implications of this approach.
Yeah.
there are definitely more sensitive and respectful ways
Ugh.
to develop social skills and confidence in dating.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
While pushing your comfort zone can be valuable, it shouldn't come at the expense of someone else's feelings or boundaries.
exactly. Yeah.
So, if playing games isn't the answer, what are some healthier ways
Hmm. That's a good question.
to build confidence and social skills in the dating world?
Well, first, I think it's crucial to remember that rejection is a normal part of life,
Okay.
especially in dating, right?
Right.
It's not a reflection of your worth.
Okay.
Um, and reframing rejection as an opportunity for growth, I think, can be really helpful
Okay.
rather than a personal attack.
He even says that most men get rejected
Yeah.
because they're only thinking about sex.
That's another one of his
Yeah.
provocative statements.
Yeah.
But I think it points to an important concept,
Okay.
which is shifting the focus
Yeah.
from immediate gratification
Okay.
to genuine connection.
Got it.
And he suggests that by prioritizing fun
Yeah.
and authentic interactions,
Hmm.
the pressure is taken off and it becomes more natural.
So instead of focusing on winning or scoring,
Yeah.
it's about connecting
It's about connecting, yeah,
with someone on a human level.
on a human level.
But how do you actually put that into practice?
Yeah, that's the hard part.
How do you develop those social skills and that confidence
Yeah.
without resorting to these manipulative tactics?
I think there are many ways, and it's about finding what works for you.
Okay.
Joining clubs or groups based on your interests
Yeah.
is a great way to meet people
Yeah.
in a more organic setting.
Okay.
Volunteering is another fantastic option,
Yeah.
right? You're connecting with others while also giving back to your community.
That's great.
Um, and then just simply striking up conversations
Oh, okay.
with people you encounter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your daily life can be incredibly helpful.
So it's about putting yourself out there
It is, yeah.
in authentic ways, being open to connection,
Yeah.
recognizing that rejection, while uncomfortable, is just a part of the process.
Yeah, it's part of life, honestly.
It sounds like he's advocating for a more mindful and authentic approach to dating.
Yeah, I think that's refreshing, actually.
Yeah.
And you know what? That ties back to his broader message about reframing challenges as opportunities for growth.
Okay. Yeah.
Instead of seeing heartbreak, failure, and rejection
Yeah.
as things to avoid at all costs,
Right.
he's encouraging men to lean into them, learn from them,
Yeah.
and use them to become stronger.
So it's not about avoiding
It's not about avoiding,
difficult emotions,
Yeah,
experiences.
but rather it's about, developing the skills
Yeah.
and resilience
Yeah.
to navigate them effectively.
Okay. So he's advocating for a more.
He is. He's advocating for a more resilient
Yeah.
and adaptable approach to life.
Yeah.
One that recognizes that setbacks are inevitable,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't have to define us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is an empowering message.
Yeah.
Even if some of his language might raise a few eyebrows.
For sure. For sure.
It's interesting how he frames these challenges as almost uniquely masculine experiences. Like
Right.
he even goes so far as to say he can't trust a man who hasn't faced them because they wouldn't know how to handle adversity when it inevitably arises.
I mean, that's a very specific perspective.
Yeah.
And, I think it's important to remember that challenges and resilience aren't limited to any one gender.
Right.
Everyone faces setbacks and hardships,
Yeah.
regardless of their identity.
True.
Yeah.
But I think what he's getting at is the societal pressure men often feel
Okay.
to be stoic, strong, and successful.
Mm.
So when they inevitably stumble,
Yeah.
it can be difficult to process those emotions in a healthy way.
Yes, and that's where his emphasis on reframing comes in.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
He's challenging men to reevaluate their definition of strength and masculinity,
Right.
to embrace vulnerability and growth as essential parts of the journey.
So he's pushing back against that traditional tough guy image
I think so.
and suggesting that true strength comes from embracing vulnerability and learning from your experiences.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, that's a powerful message. So if we take a step back and look at his overall message,
Yeah.
what are the key takeaways here?
His core message, I think, is about utilizing challenges.
Yeah.
Like heartbreak, failure, rejection,
Yeah.
to build resilience and become a stronger person.
Okay.
And while some of his language and specific advice might be controversial,
Right.
I think his underlying points about self-improvement
Yeah.
and perseverance
Yeah.
hold value
Right.
for anyone facing adversity.
He seems to be advocating for a mindset shift.
He is.
He's encouraging men to see these experiences not as defeats,
Yes.
but as opportunities to learn, grow, and ultimately come out on the other side even stronger.
Precisely. Yeah.
Okay, so he's promoting a proactive approach
Yes.
to personal development,
Mm-hmm.
urging men to take control of their lives
Yeah.
and embrace the challenges that come their way as stepping stones
Stepping stones. Yeah.
to growth.
I like that.
While his delivery is definitely intense,
It is.
that might not resonate with everyone. I think his underlying message about resilience is pretty universal.
It is.
We all face setbacks.
Yeah.
And it's how we choose to handle them that ultimately shapes our character
Exactly.
and our path.
Absolutely.
This deep dive has certainly given us a lot to think about.
It has.
What are your final thoughts
Final thoughts.
on this speaker's message and how it might apply to our listener?
Well, I think it's important to remember that everyone's journey of self-development is unique, right?
Yeah.
And so while this speaker's advice might resonate with some,
Yeah.
it's not a one-size-fits-all solution.
Okay.
The key is to take what feels valuable to you,
Okay.
adapt it to your own circumstances, and discard anything that doesn't feel authentic or helpful.
He's given us a lot to unpack.
We've got a lot.
But I think the most important takeaway is this power of perspective.
Yeah, I agree.
How we choose to view those challenges can drastically impact our ability to overcome them
Absolutely.
and ultimately thrive. So as we kind of wrap up this first part of our deep dive,
Right.
what's one final thought you'd like to leave our listener with?
I would encourage you to reflect on what resonated with you most
Okay.
from this speaker's message.
Mm-hmm.
What are your own strategies
Yeah.
for handling setbacks and building resilience?
Yeah.
Remember, self-development is a personal journey,
Right.
and there's no single right way to approach it.
Okay.
The key is to keep exploring,
Yeah.
keep learning,
Keep learning.
and keep growing.
It's all about finding what works for you,
It is.
taking inspiration where you can,
Ah.
and creating your own path toward a more resilient and fulfilling life.
Exactly, and you don't have to do it alone, right?
Oh, that's a great point.
You can seek support from friends, family, or a therapist.
Yeah.
That can be incredibly helpful.
That's such an important point
It is.
because we often try to handle everything ourselves.
We do, yeah.
But sometimes reaching out for guidance and support can be the most empowering thing we can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes just having someone to talk to
Yeah.
who understands what you're going through
Yeah.
can make all the difference.
Well, I think we've thoroughly unpacked this motivational speaker's perspective.
I think so.
It's been a thought-provoking deep dive
It's been.
into the power of resilience,
Mm-hmm.
the importance of reframing challenges,
Yeah.
and the unique ways men often process these experiences.
It's been fascinating
Yeah.
to explore his no-holds-barred approach
Yeah.
and dissect the underlying messages,
Mm-hmm.
some of which are certainly more universally applicable than others.
I'm curious, what stood out to you the most from this deep dive?
What struck me was his emphasis on personal responsibility.
Okay.
While I don't agree with all of his tactics,
Right.
I think his overall message of taking ownership of your life
Mm-hmm.
and using challenges as fuel for growth is incredibly powerful.
Yeah, that idea of not letting setbacks define you, but rather using them as opportunities to learn and evolve is something I think we can all benefit from.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a mindset shift that
Yeah.
can make a profound difference
Yeah.
in how we navigate the ups and downs of life.
Well, I think we've given our listener a lot to ponder today.
I think so too.
It's been a deep dive filled with intense advice,
It has.
thought-provoking concepts,
Yeah.
and hopefully some valuable insights
Yeah, I hope so.
on handling the challenges life throws our way.
Absolutely. As always, the journey of self-discovery is ongoing.
Yes.
Keep questioning, keep exploring,
Keep exploring.
and keep striving to become the best version of yourself.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey.
You're not.
We're all in this together, figuring things out as we go.
Yeah.
So keep learning, keep growing, and keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.
Keep diving deep.
It's fascinating how he connects this need to withdraw and regroup
Yeah. Yeah.
to a larger cultural trend.
Okay.
He argues that men today
Yeah.
are often raised with a limited emotional vocabulary,
Mm.
which makes processing complex feelings like heartbreak even more challenging.
So it's not just about individual experiences.
Not just, no.
But also about societal expectations and
Yeah.
how they shape men's emotional development.
Exactly. And he suggests that this societal pressure to be stoic and suppress emotions can actually hinder personal growth.
Right. So instead of
learning to navigate those feelings in a healthy way, a lot of men end up shutting down altogether, which can lead to isolation and stagnation.
So they're stuck in this cycle of trying to live up to an unrealistic
like this
ideal
of masculinity.
Yeah.
But if they don't allow themselves to feel and process those emotions,
Right.
how can they truly grow and evolve?
That's a key point. He's trying to drive home. Right?
Absolutely.
He's challenging those traditional notions of masculinity and suggesting that true strength lies in embracing vulnerability and emotional depth.
Which is a message I think resonates far beyond